with allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Open Public Meetings Act statement, please.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers, posted on the bulletin board and township website on January 8, 2022.
Roll call.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Mr. Deegan?
Here.
Mrs. Peschelson? Here. Mrs. Flame?
Here.
Mayor Bruno?
Present. This time, we're going to read a proclamation for Mariana Menden. Dave? Sure. Tex. You guys can come up.
Oh, I love her glasses.
So I have a proclamation that honoring Mariana, I'd love to read it to you. Proclamation honoring and commending Mariana Jamenden. Whereas the Township of Franklin is blessed to have a talented, brilliant, and selfless person living in the community. Whereas Mariana Jamenden has been a loyal library patron for many years, she has shown her dedication to her community. Whereas Mariana hosted a lemonade stand and raised $225. Mariana has generously donated all the proceeds to the library. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Franklin, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, and the Township hereby honors Mariana Jamenden for her service and dedication to make a difference in Franklin Township. Presented by the Township of Franklin, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, on August 9th, 2022. By the Honorable John Bruno, Mayor, and the Committee members. So, Mariana. Would you tell people what gave you the idea to do that? To have the lemonade stand and then give the money to the library?
So my mom bought the shirt because they were trying to raise money to build a fence. And I decided to make a lemonade stand because I wanted to help out.
So that's terrific, very commendable. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. 255?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Committee.
Thank you, Tex.
Thank you.
Tex, if you guys want to go,
Thank
give me a couple minutes. Thank you. Thank you again,
Thank you so much.
Mariana.
So sweet.
Those person good that they went. Because they usually get their ice cream out of that. Not just let it go.
We'll see you now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care, Tex.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
So sweet.
Are we approving this or just reading it? The resolution.
We're approving 135, and then we're going to do a public hearing on the budget.
I get a motion to approve resolution R 13522, approving the budget to be read by title only.
I make a motion that we approve R 13522.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Peschelson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. I get a motion to open a public hearing on R 13622, 2022 Franklin Township Municipal Budget.
Make a motion that we open the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, you're hot tonight.
I am. Cindy Merckx, 330 Oak Avenue. Hello, Robin. It's nice to see you. We do tax in all the different towns. I have a couple questions on the budget. Okay, is that okay? maybe,
That's
and I
why
know
we have
Robin's
Robin
an
here.
expert at this, so there you go. Well, I just went over it, to be honest with you, because I wasn't sure what was on the agenda, and I know it was just there, so I apologize that I wasn't able to ask questions earlier about it. But do you have the sheets in front of you? Because I could probably just go over the sheets and then just tell you there's only like 3 or 4 questions. Just maybe you can answer them for me. Under the, hang on. All right, sheet 10. And that's where I'm in the anticipated revenue section, if you guys are following. I see where we have a school resource officer. And what I don't understand is, and this, maybe you can explain it to me, it's like there's nothing there in the anticipated for the 2022, but yet in 2021, there was $157,000. See that?
Yes.
So how is that?
157,208 was something that was in the prior year, and it was put in last year, but we didn't have anything go towards that. A little bit we did. But instead, we're having the school resource officer money go directly back towards the police budget.
Okay, so that's where it's moving to. All right, thank you. That's one thing that, like I said, it didn't really explain it. All right, the next one's on sheet 13. And that one is where the Department of Law, okay, where we have other expenses. Is that our legal fees? Is that where you have them in now? Yes. Okay. Well, we at one time had a Department of Law, and we had someone in charge of that, so I wasn't sure if we had, so that's just where our law, so now that's where we're going on that, okay. Engineering fees, I see that's increased too. So we're up on both of those items. I see about 25,000 each of those. And then the last one, sheet 19. Last one, I promise you.
It's okay.
The judgments, 55,000. Who are we paying that to? Anybody? Usually a judgment is something.
I'm still getting my voice back from the wedding.
That is the final
I
closeout for
promise.
something that happened before I came here. Talking with the insurance companies, that was our final amount.
Can we say who it is? I mean, since we're paying for it, I just wanted to know who it was.
Yeah. Deola, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay, so that was for them.
correct.
Okay, that's all my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I get a motion to close the public hearing on R 13622.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Adopt.
Can I get a motion to adopt R 13622? It's a 2022 Franklin Township municipal budget.
I make a motion that we adopt the budget.
I'll second.
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yeah, but I just want to thank Robin and Gina for getting us to this point. I know there's some people that think this probably should have been done a couple months ago. They put a lot of work in just to get to this point. A lot of work that they did not cause, but they did correct. So I'm actually happy that we're in this position right now, and I've been assured that next year it'll be even done at a sooner time. So thank you, Robin, thank Gina, and all that. But I did say yes. Another thing before I go any further, most of you don't know that is Robin. She's our CFO. Brian, stand up. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself. Brian is going to be
Come up there,
our
Supervisor consultant.
supervisor consultant for Public Works.
Hello, Brian Nicholson, lifelong Newfield resident, born and raised there, currently live there. Worked part-time for the borough of Newfield for 12, going on 12 years. I worked full-time for the borough of Winona as the CPWM and utilities superintendent. Coming on to consult and help out with the public works in Franklin Township. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm only going to be here part-time, but I will be here. And I will be available by phone 24/7.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Nice.
Not yet, you ain't get on board yet, that's a little later. And we have CME, we have the CME planner here to answer any questions that could arise. Chris, right? Yes. Thank you. All right, so we're open the public hearing on the following ordinances. Can I get a motion to open O-1722, amending Chapter 35614, towing and storage services fees for the Township Code of the Township of Franklin?
I make a motion that we open the public hearing for O-1722.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nobody wants to get towed. All right, can I get a motion to close O-1722?
I make a motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt O-1722?
I make a motion that we adopt O-1722.
Second?
Barb?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on O-1822, amending Chapter 253, Land Development of the Code of the Township of Franklin?
I make a motion that we open the public hearing for O-1822.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Jason Brandt, 688 Rosemont Avenue.
Good evening.
Evening.
Is this a solar ordinance?
Yes.
Okay. I just had a question regarding the requirements on the accessory use in all the zones. Is there a reason that the restrictions were put into place that are, in my opinion, so restrictive to allow for an accessory solar array?
Chris?
Sure. If you don't mind, could you be a little more specific of which restrictions you're referring to?
Well, specifically the lot size requirement, the setback requirements, they're in some cases much greater than the principal use permitted in the zone. So I was just curious, are we trying to deter ground mount solars, or is there a reason there?
I wouldn't necessarily trying to deter. The intent of the ordinance here is to permit ground mount solar on lots of at least 3 acres with a 50-foot setback, which is more restrictive than some of the principal building setbacks. The idea is to permit a ground mount solar, but generally make sure it's hidden so that it's not seen from the street. One of the comments the planning board did have when we reviewed this last month was a very similar sentiment, that they wondered why there was a 3-acre minimum for ground mount solar and whether 50 feet was really appropriate. The intent was to allow it, but on lots of a certain size, and make sure that it's not something that's right up against the street so that it's visible to everybody. That's the general intent.
Okay. Was that, I mean, is the committee, is that the purpose, or?
Yeah.
That's how I understood it as well.
Okay.
You drive around, there's been quite a few complaints, the neighbors putting a solar panel array right on the property line, shining at the neighbor's house.
I think there's one right on Route 4, if I'm not mistaken. It's about 20 feet up the road, if that.
20 or 30 feet, yes.
So
it's been nobody before the zoning.
There's been more and more complaints about it, and we're not anti-solar, we're just trying to
Well, I was just
make it
somewhat
unimpactful.
confused because, normally when you see an accessory use, the requirements are somewhat less stringent than the principal use. So an example being, I can build a 35-foot tall house 20 feet from a property line, but a ground mount solar can't be more than 8 feet, and it's got to be 50 feet buffered on a 3-acre lot. So that's why I was, essentially no one's going to be able to be qualified for a permit without going to the zoning board, or I shouldn't say no one, but, three-quarters of the township.
That gives a chance for the neighbors to have input and avoid conflict, and if it fits, because there's people that have half-acre lots and people have 100-acre lots. You're not going to make a cookie-cutter rule. That's why they have relief at the zoning board.
No, but listen, you don't have to tell me what the purpose
You have little
is. I just didn't know if you
experience
guys were aware that the restrictions were so stringent. I thought, the purpose was to discourage people from doing ground mount and do,
I
roof
think
mount.
roof mount is a lot less controversial we don't get complaints from that.
Right. Yeah, it would actually be easier to build a building and put the roof mount on the building because you'd be able to build it on a much smaller lot with a much less setback.
And then you can pay taxes on the building.
Yeah, pay the tax on the building. Right.
Should we give them your card?
So,
You don't want to have your card given out, or?
All right.
Can I get a motion to close O-1822?
I make a motion that we close 08.
You got another gentleman.
Whoop.
I didn't start thinking what you just said.
So if I have a house that only has an acre and a half, I can't have solar.
No. Come up to the mic, you gotta tell us who you are, where you live.
So I need clarification.
No, you gotta tell us who you are.
Hi, my name's Anthony Corsi. I live over at 9 Teal Court on the other side of Franklinville, where we're forgotten about. Bluebell Acres. So the average property over there has acre and a half, 2 acres property that nobody there can have a solar array that's on the ground. So you're telling me? Anybody know the purpose of having it on the ground?
Without going to the zoning board.
But do you know the benefit of having it on the ground? I don't need to get up on the roof and clean all that snow off and all that ice. And we wind up with like 4 or 5 days of snow covered and no production. So you're hurting that too.
I had solar in my home that I just sold, and I had it on 2 sides of my house, and I had no trouble when it snowed. That first day that the sun shined a little bit, it loosened it up and it slid down and ripped out.
Right. You got to wait a couple days for that. So
I didn't say a couple days. I said the first.
I track solar, so
okay.
I have 56 panels on my house, and I have it on 3 sides. The point is, I have to wait a few days, so I get no production, even though it's a bright sun, which is the best time to get it.
You have 56 panels on your house?
Yep. On my
Your
roof,
electric
yes.
bill must be pretty high, because I only thought you were only supposed to generate what
It
you
was.
use.
It was.
It was, but it's not anymore?
Well, we're now down to just us. We're empty nesters.
Jesus, 56 panels.
Still paying for them.
Yep.
So that's my point. Just having land-mounted panels is a little bit easier to clean, keep them clean. The stuff on the roof is dirty. I'm losing production, and I'm getting too old now to go up there with a hose and clean them off. So you may want to rethink that 3-acre thing and push it back a little bit, but
The idea is if you had less than 3 acres, you could still do it, but you would go to the zoning board, your neighbors would be notified, and you would make sure you weren't impacting somebody else's life. So it might be a little easier for you to clean, but we're trying to make laws that help everybody, not just the person doing it.
well, as long as there's
So it's
some
not that
wiggle
you
room.
can't do it.
There is wiggle room.
Yeah,
You're
yes.
saying 3 acres and that's it.
No, you go to the zoning
go to the
board,
zoning
you
board,
draw a
you can get-
picture, your neighbors get noticed, and you guys work it out if it makes sense, and the board decides. We don't decide, the board will decide. So there is relief.
As long as there's not hardcore.
No, there is relief. It's,
All right.
it's,
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Hi, good evening. I guess we're talking about the solar ordinance?
Yep.
Okay. I spoke before about this. Ground mount produces more energy because of the cooling effect of the air flow underneath. Your ordinance, yeah, you can go to the zoning board, but it costs $1,000 to go to the zoning board, which may be a deterrent for a lot of people, such as myself. I would have put a greenhouse addition on the front of my house if the town hadn't changed the zoning so that I need a variance, because I went from residential to commercial, and I'm sure some of my neighbors still don't know that they're not residential anymore because it was done through the master plan and no one was personally notified by mail. So, and very few people check the legal ads, but it really makes no sense to force 99% of people who want a ground mount to the zoning board. It costs the town money when you go before the zoning board. They have to show up, and their experts have to show up, their engineer, the clerical, everyone.
I don't think you need an engineer for a residential application.
I don't know.
You don't. You don't
Who
know
reviews
an
it then?
engineer. What, I'm sorry?
Who reviews that?
The township engineer reviews it, but you don't have to hire an engineer as a resident.
Right, but that, as a resident, my tax dollars are paying for that review.
Applications,
No, the person who's applying.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's an onus that you're putting on the person for something that's inherently beneficial. Also, your ordinance restricts the height on the roof. If somebody has a roof that doesn't have a really good slant, they want optimal, they're gonna need to raise that up. So that's a little too restrictive as well. The 50-foot vegetative buffer is completely insane. Why is this treated differently from every other accessory structure? I certainly don't want to look at somebody's ugly metal outbuilding. I'd rather see their solar. You're depending on a few people saying, oh, I don't like looking at that, when there's a lot of people in town that would rather look at that than an outbuilding where people are making noise and, doing all kinds of things. The solar panel is benign. It's not making any noise. It's not causing any glare. I have a ground mount system. It doesn't bother anybody. Do you want to vegetate a buffer 50 feet is insane, first of all. You don't even give 50 feet buffers to where I live. The buffer is 25 to 50 feet to a business next to my home. And you're going to require something that's benign, like a solar panel, to have 50 feet of vegetative buffer? That's insane. The 3 acres is insane because every property is different. And you could have 3 acres like me where it's 150 feet wide, 50 acre, with 3 acres and 50 feet on each side doesn't give you much room for the panels. And by the way, 50-something panels is not a lot.
56.
Yeah, it's not a lot. I have 30 panels, and it is not enough in the wintertime for electric heat when the sun isn't shining a lot.
You have electric heat too?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, but I do. My panels only break even during the summer with the air conditioner and the sun shining all the time. In the winter, I'm still paying bills. But under what you have, I wouldn't even be able to expand mine without a variance, not that I'm going to. Roof solar, also, a lot of these older homes, they can't handle the weight of it. They're not structurally sound enough, and you start putting panels on older homes, or even some of the not as old homes that don't have strong enough trusses for these. You're setting up a failure, and you're preventing people from doing something that's inherently beneficial. I think your ordinance is ridiculous and overly restrictive, and if you read a lot of things online, they talk about not making ordinances this restrictive, that it discourages rather than encourages something that we need. And right now it's not raining, you know why? Climate change. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Take a motion to close 01822.
I make a motion, we close 01822.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Taking a motion to adopt 01822.
I make a motion that we adopt 01822.
A second? Mr. Deegan?
Yep.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson? Yes. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
I make a motion, we open the first public portion.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah.
What is this for? Agenda.
Public portion for resolutions and ordinances below.
There's an agenda right up on the top.
Left-hand side. Keep it 200 of them.
John Paul Madden?
Yeah. Hopefully it's great. Let's close it.
Taking a motion to close the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below.
I make a motion, we close the first public portion.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve correspondence and reports.
I make a motion, we approve correspondence and the reports.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Taking a motion to approve the minutes from July 12th, 2022.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Taking a motion to approve the bill list.
I make a motion to approve the bill list.
Second?
Barb?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson? Yes. Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes.
Now, for once, thank God.
Taking a motion to approve raffle license.
Should have said it all.
Of course.
Motion to approve a raffle license.
Oh. You want me to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the raffle license.
I'll second. Dave's feeling lucky.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Taking a motion to approve roadside stand permit for Christine Thompson.
I make a motion that we approve the roadside stand.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Making a motion to approve Resolution R-12722, authorizing the Township Committee of the Township of Franklin to enter an agreement to provide one school resource officer for the Franklin Township School District for the year 2022 and 23.
I make a motion that we approve R-12722.
Second? Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes, I just want to add to the public that they were definitely interested in another one. However, school resource officers and anything really within the education profession right now is really, really tough to hire. We don't even have applicants. So if you're wondering why it was only one and not another, I do know that Franklin Township Board was in favor of it, and we definitely posted and tried to get to, but it just didn't fall through. So
We still have one possibility.
okay, good. So there's still one
He has
possible.
not committed yet, but he's picked up the application and everything.
So there's your even further
So
update.
that may be coming. He just, and it wasn't going to work for him to be able to be ready for November anyway. So
No, I don't think we did.
Okay, good. So with that, I will say yes, but I just want to let you
She's
guys
taking
know.
roll
And
call.
you're going to vote still. And Mayor Bruno?
No, you need to vote.
I said yes.
Okay. I'm a yes to the vote.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Resolution R-12822, authorizing a fireworks display by pyrotechnic for the Township Community Day.
I make a motion that we approve R-12822.
Second? Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. A motion to approve Resolution R-12922, appointing Andrew Komito as part-time fire inspector.
Komito. And it's, I make a motion that we approve R-12922.
Second? Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution R-13022, appointing Karen Finelli as part-time school crossing guard.
I make a motion that we approve R-13022.
A second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes, but do you know where the location for this is? I was just
Yeah,
curious.
it's the school done in Buna.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Approve R-13122, appointing Brian Nicholson as part-time superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
This is when I can welcome him aboard.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve R-13122.
A second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R-13222, authorizing the CFO to refund the following escrow fees and close the following escrow accounts?
I make a motion that we approve R-13222.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R-13322, authorizing the CFO to refund the following escrow fees and close the following escrow accounts?
I make a motion that we approve R-13322.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve R-13422, authorizing the CFO to refund the following escrow fees and close the following escrow accounts?
I make a motion that we approve R-13722, well, excuse me, 13422.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. A motion to approve Resolution R-13722, authorizing the mayor to execute an employment agreement between the Township of Franklin and Tracy Bleda, Municipal Court Administrator for the Township of Franklin.
I make a motion that we approve R-13722.
Second? Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Making a motion to approve Resolution R-13822, authorizing the mayor to execute an employment agreement between the Township of Franklin and Angela
Freecott?
I make a motion.
Deputy Court Administrator for the Township of Franklin.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
all right.
I make a motion we approve R-13822.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R-13922, authorizing the Township Committee of the Township of Franklin to enter an agreement to provide 2 school resource officers for the Caselli Regional School District for the 22-23 school year?
I make a motion, we approve R 13922.
Second. Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve R-14022, authorize the mayor to execute an employment agreement between the Township of Franklin and school resource officers Driver, Holcraft, and Maraglia?
I make a motion, we approve R 14022.
Second. Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R-14122, authorizing the tax collector and chief financial officer to grant tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran?
I make a motion that we approve R 14122.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for the introduction of the following ordinance? The public hearing will be on September 13th, 2022. And the ordinance is Ordinance 2022, renewing and readopting Ordinance 2298 and Ordinance 712. Again, that will be held on September 13th.
Matt, what were those two? Refresh my memory.
Marty.
What were the,
That was for renewing the tax abatement plan. And
it's just an expiration of that
Yep, I understand.
standard renewal?
Right?
no changes, just readopting it and
There's a minor amplification where previously designated tax abatement committee, we just designated the chairs to be part of that.
Okay, thank you. I make a motion that we introduce 02022, please.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to open the second public portion for any comments?
I make a motion that we open the second public portion.
Second?
Good evening.
Good evening.
You're from CME, this gentleman here?
Yes, I am.
What's going on with the Piney Hollow project and the Pinelands approval?
So I'm not familiar.
He's a planner, he's not the engineer.
Well, maybe Tim knows.
I just got that email that John sent me. I haven't reached out to them yet. I just got back from vacation today, so I was going to reach out to him this week.
Okay, how is Jim Winkowski? Is he okay?
Fine, as far as I'm aware. He was in the office this morning.
Okay, I've made repeated phone calls to Jim to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I was going to email him tomorrow and then circle back with John and let you know what the status was, because I haven't heard anything in quite a while.
Yeah, the last that I heard was they needed clarification that there wouldn't be any stormwater needed because the paths are going to just be dirt.
Right.
And that was a question that was asked months and months and months ago that was supposed to be already answered.
Right.
Apparently, when it was resubmitted, they did not address that. And I have no idea whether they've submitted again. And it's been several months since they said they hadn't addressed it.
Yeah,
So-
I'll follow up with him tomorrow and then let you guys know.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone that I applied for this grant with help from some of the Environmental Commission members in 2016. It was awarded summertime of 2017. It's supposed to be a 2-year grant. It's now 2022, verging on 2023. We need to move on this.
Yeah.
It's been an
Well, the
inordinate...
Pinelands and COVID haven't made anything easier, I'm sure. So.
Well, if we would answer their questions, we would have had a permit a long time ago. So I think you need to put a little bit of pressure on Jim and, let him realize that there is some priority to this because apparently they're not getting the message that we need to get moving on this.
I will follow up with him.
Thanks, Tim.
No problem.
I also had a question about the land sale. Have we made any progress on that?
The one coming up?
Yeah. when's it-
Working on it now.
Okay, so we don't have a date or a time frame yet?
Not yet.
Well, yeah, we'd have to come back here for formal approval, just like last time. So it'll be on notice through that, and we're compiling a list for the introduction of an ordinance and an auction to follow after that.
Okay, so I should see.
We're hopefully, obviously, in the fourth quarter is our
Yes.
target before the end of the year.
Okay, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we figured August was not a good time to go to sales, so we're going to be after Labor Day.
Yeah, and I understand we changed the tax officer as well, so that kind of put
Yeah,
up.
Patrick was working on it before he left.
Yeah, that I understand. I also had a question about, I drove down Route 40 and the illegal pool place seems to still be operating. What's going on with that?
We're in ongoing litigation with that at the county level, the municipal court level. I can't really get into any other details other than that we are in daily dispute with the operators and their representatives.
Yeah, my understanding was that NJDEP shut them down because of the toxic spraying they were doing that was releasing into the environment.
I can't really litigate the facts of it. I mean, there's public record of some of the instances you're talking about, but we're on a discovery order right now. We're exchanging discovery with the other party. We're actively litigating it and the concerns that you're raising.
Yeah, I mean, this is extremely egregious for anyone in the area, because my understanding is that they were spraying coatings on these pools. It was affecting the health of the residents, and this would be airborne and would blow all over the place. It would just go downwind.
We've done everything that the town can do. There's nothing left we can do, to be honest with you. So it's in the process, the legal process, and if you can come up with something else, let us know, because we've left no stone unturned.
Well, I'm glad it's not
I
you
agree
and me.
with
Because if it was, I'd have my own attorney. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Kathy Corsi. I've called for about a year now about the intersection of Bluebell and Coles Mill, the visibility.
What was that intersection? I'm sorry.
Coles Mill and Bluebell.
Okay.
So
Nobody
heading
wants
toward
it.
Williamstown
Yes.
from Bluebell, you have to go past the white line to see what's coming. And you have dump trucks speeding. It's crazy. Matthew Finley, I was in touch with him.
That's it, that guy right there. There you go.
In May. And you agreed that it was horrendous.
Correct. And our zoning officer has gone out there, has had multiple conversations with them, has followed her course of action that she can do. I've had Matt Caselli, our deputy chief, officers out there. Sergeant Wiggins here tonight. Working through the process, but again, we've done everything we can on our
but it's here in the right area.
I mean, I don't understand. I know.
So the easement, there's an easement on every road. It could be 10 feet, it could be 20 feet. If it's outside the easement, we can't go on someone's property.
20 feet?
No, I'm saying it could be 10 feet. It could, different roads have different easements.
The bushes are so wide, that needs to be, not only the top has to get cut, but the side. I mean, it's horrendous. I drive an SUV. I can't imagine being in a car and pulling out. I really can't. Seriously.
Yeah, no, I drive
How many
tractor.
more people have to get killed in that intersection? There's been horrendous accidents at that intersection. I've witnessed a few. And stuff that I'll never get out of my head.
The
that I've
Bluebell
seen.
side is what you're talking about, right? Like not on the Coles Mill, the Bluebell side?
Yes.
There's two houses on the corner.
And there's huge dead trees. The pole is in a bad place. That shouldn't be right there either. They're literally, I mean, I can show you the picture. It's,
Rosemary's been out there.
Isn't that a county road?
it is. I've called the county. And like I said, they just cut a little bit, and well, it grows in 3 weeks. I mean,
We have the county out there.
it's worse than it ever is right now.
Police out, Rosemary out. I'll send her out again tomorrow morning.
I mean, people have gotten killed at this intersection. It's just not right.
But our hands are slightly tied, as they were saying.
Right.
We can't go past the easement and go on somebody's property. We can only follow the.
But isn't there an ordinance if you don't keep up with your property?
Well, that's where our zoning officer has gotten involved, and we're trying to process through that, but it's The wheels of justice are slow, unfortunately.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You still have my number.
Thank you.
This is about the Bluebell Acres again. We have two things going on. A, we've been waiting 36, 37 years to get a road. We have a temporary road there. It's never been a real pavement, and it's terrible when it rains. I got stones everywhere. They've patched it many times. You can't patch it.
Is it a paper street?
It's a tar street, but it's the first layer. It's never been processed.
They never put the
finished top on. Right. And they keep coming out and putting patches, and the patches break up, and you wind up with stones everywhere, shooting out everywhere. We've been waiting for 36 years. I'm not rushing, but maybe you could put it on the agenda.
Maybe.
And
First time I've heard about it, so.
The same. Well, we've sent letters and stuff.
You probably did. It's the first time I'm hearing it.
We can have the engineer look at getting it on the list for paving. I don't know.
Really appreciate it. The next thing is at the corner of Salem and Pavilon, same development. There's a house there that's, I don't know if it's been condemned or not, but it's loaded with mold. It's vacant, and it needs to be something done with it. Can't have a house full of mold just sitting around.
Do you have the actual physical address?
No, I forgot it.
What did you say, it's Salem and Pavilon?
Salem and Pavilon. You run right into it.
Probably easy to find, right? The only moldy house in there.
Yeah, you run right into it when you come in.
The green one.
And it's a green
We'll send someone out.
Your wife has my number. Call me tomorrow or shoot me an email. She has that also.
Okay.
With the address when you're going home, and I'll have zoning out there tomorrow.
Yeah, I just can't remember the number.
And I'll have the meeting again here on Thursday. We'll talk about the other road also.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
I move. Can I get a motion to close the second public portion?
I make a motion, we close the second public portion.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Mr. Doyle.
I have nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Deegan.
Well, saying we had a setback at the library. We're still waiting for some of the materials to come in, so our grand reopening celebration that was scheduled for the 20th of August has been pushed back to September the 10th now. So it's been closed a lot longer than the library staff and the librarian there would like, but we're at the mercy of the vendors. All the shelving has been put in for the books. The books will be delivered, I believe, tomorrow and Thursday. They'll be working on that, and we're hoping that in the next week or so, we'll be able to get the glass in. Once the glass is in, we'll be able to open the library up, but the celebration we're planning for will be September the 10th, starting at 10 o'clock on that Saturday morning. So.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Ms. Mary?
Well, I'd like to congratulate Detective Kenny Gonzalez on his retirement and wish him all the best of luck, and thank all the officers for a wonderful National Night Out, and for everyone who contributed and pitched in for a wonderful event for the township. And just because we're not meeting again until September again, correct?
That is correct.
Because then we go back to two sessions. So then I would just want to wish all the kids a great first day back to school.
Thank you. So,
That will be
I just threw you off. I just really messed up your night, didn't I?
Where did the summer go? I have nothing. I had something, and now I have nothing.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Mary kind of took everything I wanted to say. With that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.